years on Ksee 24. Ksee 24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
As first, we have sunshine out there and temperatures are warming up fairly fast this midday. This is a live picture from our valley cam at Ksee 24 overlooking parts of southeast Fresno this midday. So more sunshine, warmer temperatures. We're going to be in the upper 70s. We were in the upper 60s yesterday because of lingering cloud cover. Already in the mid 60s across the Central Valley. 67 now in Merced, on the way to a high of 78. Also the high of 78 in Fresno. Low 60s in Visalia. Mid 70s this afternoon. Mid 70s from Madera, Mendota, Hanford. Sierra, you might see a few clouds, but a good amount of sunshine compared to the last few days. 60s and 70s. 90s in our near future. I'll show you the record heat as Ksee 24 midday starts now.
Local news that matters. This is Ksee 24 News Midday.
Ahead on midday, a brand new ordinance for the city of Fresno why the ACLU is ready to sue the city. And a string of robberies at Tulare Dairies ends in a shootout. Hello and welcome to Ksee 24 Midday. I'm Brody Logan. Caroline Collins is off today. Thank you for joining us. Well, officials have now announced that the Joint Drug Enforcement Task Force, founded in October of 2020, has seized hundreds of thousands of counterfeit drugs. Officials said that out of every 10 pills seized, at least 4 had fentanyl in them. Many were made to look like prescription pills. They went on to mention the merits of knowing how real prescriptions look and said you should always look over those pills for manufacturing identifier marks to ensure you are taking the correct thing. Fresno State gearing up for their fall 2022 classes, and that includes this new piece of machinery. The new campus laboratory features advanced processing equipment that can process shell or whole almonds, pistachios, walnuts, pecans, just about any nut to meet industry standards. The project, initiated and coordinated by Western Agricultural Processors Association, was made possible by nearly $800,000 worth of donated equipment and service provided by 14 Central Valley industry partners. The lab will be utilized by a 3-unit Department of Industrial Technology class that will be offered in fall 22, entitled Fundamentals of Nut Processing.
The processing industry is expanding yearly, and this requires experienced and knowledgeable employees. Today signifies an avenue to provide these students with hands-on experience to equipment and technologies that they wouldn't normally be exposed to or they wouldn't find anywhere else but in the field.
Students will gain additional insight into equipment systems, management, maintenance, and software in the lab industry, tied instructors. The nut industry is a key contributor to the nation's leading agricultural state, with 3 of its 10 commodities in 2020, almonds, pistachios, and walnuts, all grown here in the Central Valley. 4 armed robbers now in custody after a wild shootout with Tulare County deputies. 24-year-old Augustine Chavez and 18-year-old Ishmael Cervantes, along with 2 teenagers, well, under the age of 18 teenagers, are accused of robbing employees of their personal belongings at 5 different dairies Wednesday night. Several Valley agencies came together to stop them after a pursuit that ended in a field on Avenue 80. That is when suspects began firing at deputies. The suspects eventually surrendered and were taken. The family of a murder victim is talking about the arrest of the man who took their loved one's life. 36-year-old Joshua Thao was shot and killed back in August of 2020. Nearly 2 years later, an arrest has been made in the case. Damian Salinas was identified just weeks after the shooting death of 36-year-old Joshua Thao. Not long after the shooting, Salinas fled the area, was able to hide from police for the better part of a year. That was until a Crime Stoppers tip from Fresno led police to Mexico. Investigators in Fresno worked closely with the U.S. Marshals and were able to locate Salinas and arrest him on Wednesday with a murder warrant. The sister of the victim saying they have been waiting for this.
I want to thank you, whoever you are. You're an angel to our family, especially to my dad.
It was back in August of 2020 that Joshua Thao was shot and killed right around 4 a.m. The shooting happened on the corner of Belmont and Backer Avenues following a traffic accident. It was later learned that Joshua had been trying to help a friend who had been in a car accident when he was shot. Police say an argument between the 2 parties involved in the crash may have been what ultimately led to the shooting. Salinas was arrested. Soon be brought back to Fresno to face murder charges. A controversial ordinance is now in effect in the city of Fresno. It is now illegal to enter a homeless camp cleanup operation. The city says it's all about protecting the public from hazards, but the ACLU is suing Fresno over this, alleging it's a tactic to keep people in the dark.
When our crews are out there working, they're oftentimes dealing with hazmat material.
My concern is their personal property being thrown away. I've seen blankets being ripped out of people because they didn't move fast enough, and it was a blanket that the last thing they had from their grandfather.
As of Thursday, anyone who enters a buffer zone during a homeless encampment cleanup in Fresno can face a $250 fine and potential misdemeanor charges. California lawmakers approving emergency legislation Thursday to shield some renters from being kicked out of their homes. Thursday was supposed to be the last day for COVID eviction protections, the state Senate giving final legislative approval for an extension through July 1st. The protections will remain in place only for those who applied for state rental assistance.
But the economic damage that COVID has inflicted on many, particularly low-income families, continues. That is not over, and we should not be stopping cities from stepping in to protect renters who have been harmed by COVID.
Shortly after Thursday's vote on the eviction extension, acting Governor Eleni Kosalakis stepped in to sign the bill, making her the first woman to enact state law. Coming up on Ksee Midday, kick the dust up, it's rodeo time. Well, not quite yet in Clovis, but we're going to show you where you can get a little rodeo action a week early.
And some good tri-tip sandwiches there too, just FYI. First, our morning trend moves forward. Your 40-allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy. Oak, juniper, and poplar are the top pollens, and we are in the very high range through Monday. I'll show you the warm-up that has some record heat as Ksee Midday continues.
This is Ksee 24 News Midday with Brody Logan, Caroline Collins, and the certified most accurate forecast with forecaster Ruben Contreras. Your local weather authority. Ksee 24, local news that matters.
I see on Ksee stories of everyday people making a big difference. I've seen remarkable women continue to their families, mothers and daughters from generation to generation, inspiring change in the valley. The dynamic and generous women I've met are the heart and soul of the Central Valley. I see what matters. I see local stories making an impact. And I invite you to see it all here every day on Ksee 24 News.
We'll meet Ukrainians block at a time. Still. Kiev, could you hear the bombing? My name is Lester. Is this?
More Furniture has amazing styles at incredible values, all in stock and on sale this spring.
Choose the bed of your dreams at great savings. Get this rustic bed with detailed headboard and footboard with bench for only $4.95.
Get this contemporary wood bed for only $5.95.
Or choose this elegant bed featuring tufted headboard and fabric detailing for only $5.95.
Don't wait. These values are in stock and on sale right now, only at More Furniture.
Preview these and all sales specials online at morefurniture.com.
We're a different kind of dentistry, one who believes in doing anything it takes to make dentistry work for your life. So we offer a complete exam and x-rays free to new patients without insurance every day. Plus, patients get 20% off their treatment plan. We're on your corner and in your corner every step of the way, because your anything is our everything. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Book today at aspendental.com. Log in or call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Insurance companies love using jingles to sell your policies, but not A, that's AAA. With affordable auto and home insurance plus America's most recommended roadside assistance, who needs a catchy jingle? Because AAA has coverage confidence.
So you've written a jingle about how we don't do jingles. That's right, Steve.
Outsmart jingles and choose coverage confidence from AAA.
Sounded great to me, boss.
Choosing can be difficult. Corner Bakery makes it simple with our Choose 2. Mix and match any 2 kitchen-crafted favorites to build your perfectly paired meal. For freshly prepared, artisan-inspired choices, visit one of our Valley locations in Fresno and Visalia today.
Stay connected with local news at yourcentralvalley.com and your local weather authority forecast every day. KC24 News is always available at yourcentralvalley.com. KC24 News is brought to you in part by Central Floor Supply. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras with your local weather authority forecast.
Oh, welcome back. It's getting a little mild out there already this midday. We're close to our average high temperatures and close to the high temperatures we had yesterday. Of course, we anticipated highs in the 70s yesterday, but that cloud cover was really stubborn. It really didn't break up until very late in the day, so that kept highs in the 60s. We're already in the mid-60s this midday for Fresno. Same deal for Bakersfield, Sacramento, Los Angeles, close to the 80s in Palm Springs, but a cool 50 degrees in Salt Lake City, Utah. We do have temperatures in the 50s at the highest terrain of the Sierra locally. Most of the valley, though, mid to upper 60s, 69 in the Moore, 64 in Visalia, and 66 in Madera. Compared to 24 hours ago, everyone's warmer, much warmer compared to this time yesterday. 5 degrees warmer in Visalia, 8 degrees warmer in Merced, but 11 degrees warmer in Madera. So we're adding several degrees to our high temperatures, and we're going to be above average, but staying below records for now. We did have some patchy fog this morning in the South Valley. Visibility for the most part is 7 to 10 miles. There's still some haze out there in some parts of the valley, foothills, and the Sierra. And speaking of the foothills, there's a live picture from Lake Cahuilla. This is in Tulare County, thanks to Sequoia Conservancy. This is their webcam up in the foothills in Tulare County. You can see the water right there in the center of the screen, and then a little bit of haze in the background. On the clearest days, you would see the Sierra of Tulare County, but at least it's a better view than yesterday, where that cloud deck really lingered on the east side of the valley into the lower foothills. Here's what it looks like right now from our valley cam at KC24. You can see the Fresno Air Terminal Tower in this live picture. You kind of see the foothills, but you do not see the Sierra off of the distance. So that haze, definitely not the worst, but definitely not the best visibility. High pressure is building over us now, so it's not unusual to have that haze building over us. And this ridge stays in place for today into tomorrow, but then it kind of breaks away just a little bit early on in the week because we have a trough digging through the backside of California, and that will cool off our temperatures starting on Monday. And you'll notice the breezing conditions, but in advance of this, it's going to send a little bit of cloud cover our way tomorrow. We're not expecting any rain for the weekend, so things will be dry. You don't got to worry about rain to impact your plans for the weekend. A few clouds at the highest terrain of the Sierra today. There's that cloud cover late tomorrow into the evening, and then it pretty much moves out of here by Sunday morning. And we're going to spend some time in the 80s today, though. We're going to be in the 70s. And if you're headed out to Big Hat Days tomorrow, things look pretty good early on in the day. Still cool with a temperature of 60 degrees when things get underway at 9 o'clock. 70s for a good portion of the afternoon, but a Clovis high temperature right around 82, 83 degrees. But if you stay out there all the way until 6 o'clock when things wrap up, temperatures in the upper 70s. 78 our forecast high today in Fresno. Average is 70. Today's record is 90. 1966. That's when that record was established. 79 today in Tulare, 79 in Porterville, 58 in Sequoia, 54 in China Peak, low 70s for Auberry, Oakers, Squaw Valley. A few spots in the west of the valley will sneak in the 80s today. 79 for Chowchilla, 80 for Dos Palos, and 81 for Los Banos. Temperatures tonight will be in the 40s across the Central Valley, 51 in Oakers, and then in the foothills we do have those 50s, but 29 in China Peak, 37 in Sequoia, 48 in Hanford, then 46 in Corcoran, and 49 in Tulare. Valley today. Still good to moderate for most of the valley today. It's still good for Sequoia National Park, and it will likely stay in the good to moderate range for the weekend. And of course, we're a week away for opening day for the Fresno Grizzlies and the Visalia Rawhide. They're playing two separate games, obviously, and we're 16 days away from Easter. Any good news out of this? You get a few extra days for tax days, which is the following Monday on April 18th. 7-day forecast shows warmer temperatures on the weekend, then that brief cool down Monday into Tuesday, and then mid-80s on Wednesday, 90s selling on Thursday. We have 94 for Fresno. That would tie the record. Some communities want to give us hotter temperatures than that, and even on the following Friday, so we'll see what happens there. Your regional forecast available any time of the day. Just go to yourcentralvalley.com to check it out. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Ruben. A free health and fitness event is happening in Reedley this weekend. There will be athletic and CrossFit competitions, free exercise classes and workshops, vendors, food, and more. The goal of the event is to engage and encourage people in the Central Valley to live healthy, active lives. The 3-day event will be held on the Primo Wawona campus at 1467 East Dinuba Avenue in Reedley. The expo hours are on your screen. The first day is today from 5 to 7, then Saturday all day, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., then Sunday, April 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can check in if you're ready to compete in those competitions at reedleychamber.com and find more information right there on that website for the Reedley Chamber. The Fresno State men's basketball team faces Coastal Carolina today in the Basketball Classic Championship game. Fresno State, Coastal Carolina, 2 of the 6 Division I teams in the nation that are still playing. The Bulldogs have cruised through the competition in the tournament so far. If they win, it would be the first national postseason championship for the program since the Bulldogs won the NIT back in 1983. The game starts this afternoon at 3. It'll be on ESPN+, so you can possibly watch the Bulldogs cut down the nets. Fresno State baseball returns to the field this weekend. The Dogs are hosting Air Force for a 3-game series. The Bulldogs are fresh off a series sweep over rival San Diego State. They are 12-12 overall, 6-3 in Mountain West play. Big old hats, big old bulls, and some big old trucks. It is a big weekend in the Valley. Why are Megalodon, Jailbird, and Gravedigger at the Save Mart Center? Because Monster Jam is bringing their high-flying, engine-revving action to Fresno. There are shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is the first Save Mart Center show where proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test are not required to attend. Dust off that derby hat and smooth days are Stetson because Big Hat Days are back in Clovis. The weekend festival will be filled with food and craft vendors, carnival rides, live music, and of course the biggest and most audacious hats in the Valley. All the fun gets going Saturday on Pulaski Avenue in Old Town Clovis. And that big cowboy hat will get some work in Layton for the 58th annual Layton Rodeo. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday racing and break Layton Lions Club Arena. Tickets are $12 for general admission, but children, educators, and active duty military are all free. Man, there's a lot going on this weekend. Coming up on Ksee Midday, a woman who credits others with her success, her story of success. Next.
A football injury.
You get hit in the head. That is a traumatic brain injury.
Can he be saved?
What do you think's wrong with you?
Everything. New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 4 on Ksee 24.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Gina along with spokesman Rob. So Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now. Know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You heard it, folks at home. Pick up the phone, call now.
Couples, they share everything. Almost. And now it's time to share America's most recommended roadside assistance. Add loved ones to your AAA membership for 50% off and share the benefits. Like tow trucks that arrive 20 minutes faster with the highest customer satisfaction. Add loved ones in your household for 50% off with automatic renewal at AAA.com/50. AAA. Outsmart life.
This is the place I love. There's nowhere better than the place I'm from. I'm living local and I'm loving it. Yeah, this is where my world goes round. I've got my local on. The Central Valley is where I belong. Turn it on and it feels right. Yeah, it feels like home. I got my local on. These are my people here. These are the streets.
Hi, folks, we're back, and we're here to remind you if you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to tell you how much money you can get for your accident and how quickly. Hello, I'm Gina, along with spokesperson Rob. Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now, and we'll let you know how much money you can get for your accident.
Thanks, Rob. Call now.
Ksee 24 has been highlighting remarkable women in our community, women who have contributed in a variety of ways and made the Valley a better place to live. Today, Stephanie Berugian highlights one remarkable North Valley woman who credits many other women for her success.
She's a remarkable woman who's been influenced by remarkable women and is helping to make other women remarkable.
He said he's going to work on the community health workers.
Sol Rivas of Merced is all that and more, leading her staff to plan a community event for the nonprofit she founded called Valley Onward, focused on putting women on the front lines, training them to become leaders like other women did for her.
I'm a product of a lot of women in Merced County that were trailblazers that paved the way for me to be where I'm at, that encouraged me.
Rivas says that encouragement began on day one with the most remarkable woman in her life, her mother.
She worked 2 jobs, a 3rd job once in a while. I got a job really early and realized, I have to go to school. I want to come back and help her.
Rivas did return to Merced after getting her bachelor's and master's degrees. She's worked nonstop to improve the lives of children and families with the Head Start program for First 5 and with the Merced County Office of Education, where she launched the Parent Leadership Training Institute. Anna Pagan met Rivas when she was just getting started and saw her incredible potential. She nominated Rivas as a remarkable woman.
I monitored her. I watched as she grew and gained more confidence and began to really impact. She has done some phenomenal things, and I felt that she should be acknowledged for it.
7 years ago, Rivas took on another job. She became a mother and has made a point of surrounding her daughter with strong women.
I want her to see women that are doctors, even those that are community health workers that I work with right now that are knocking on doors, educating people about COVID and getting the vaccine.
Rivas worked to secure funding for Valley Onward to provide COVID outreach. She says important work is being done in Merced and wants the Valley to take notice that she and other women are doing remarkable things every day.
And then somehow we see them under.
You're different from the other kids. You're so mature. It'll be our secret.
These are things that abusers say to gain the trust of kids. When the abuser is a priest, it's even more devastating for the child who trusted them. For over 30 years, Jeff Anderson has been fighting for survivors of child sexual abuse in California. If you were sexually abused, it's time to take your power back. Call Jeff Anderson and Associates confidentially today. 1-800-IT'S-TIME.
When it comes to insurance, nobody gives you coverage confidence like AAA. Only they offer trusted auto and home insurance, plus America's most recommended roadside, all at an affordable price. Which means they don't need wacky ads with gawking animals and... oh my.
Figured out you're a gimmick, huh?
I don't want to be a gimmick.
Outsmart spokes animals and choose coverage confidence from AAA.
You're a gopher.
Attention. This message is for the survivors of abuse by the Catholic Church. Many states have extended the window to file a claim for victims of childhood sexual abuse. It doesn't matter how long ago it happened.
If you or someone you love were a victim of sexual abuse by a priest, any employee, or other Catholic Church official, now is the time to hold these abusers accountable. We are here to help. Call Right to Fight now for a free and confidential consultation regarding your case.
800-926-3043.
You could be eligible for financial compensation after years of suffering in silence. Remember, you are not alone. More survivors are stepping forward every day to help stop the abuse.
If you or a family member were a victim of abuse by an authority figure in the Catholic Church, stand up for your justice and make the confidential free call to Right to Fight now.
800-926-3043. That's 800-926-3043.
The time to file in your state may be limited due to strict deadlines. Your claim may not be accepted if you wait.
15 years of exclusive coverage inside Fresno State. A tradition for Bulldog fans with stories and moments that matter most. The Bulldog Insider, Sunday on KC24. Sponsored by Fashion Furniture.
Dateline tonight. A knock on the door.
They said your husband was murdered last night.
I can't really believe this.
Deadly secrets caught on camera. And a love story you could never imagine.
Never in a million years.
Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
Live from New York, it's Saturday!
We return live with host Gerard Carmichael. And musical guest, Gunna.
Babies exposed to cannabis in the womb may be at risk for Colorado who had CBD in their systems. These mothers, 5-year-old children, had higher fat mass and higher fasting glucose levels compared to children who were not exposed to cannabis during pregnancy. Speaking of cannabis, the House has passed the bill that would decriminalize cannabis, marijuana at the federal level. It will then move on to the Senate. We will see if that moves forward. Well, getting a phone call from your doctor about a positive screening after your yearly mammogram can be a terrifying thing. However, it's becoming more common that those positives are actually false. Adrienne Moore has more.
Going in for a mammogram can be stressful because, you're always worried that maybe they will find something.
But a new UC Davis study suggests what doctors find may be wrong.
After 10 years of annual screening with 3D mammography, about half of women will still experience a false positive recall. And that means that they'll be recalled for additional imaging to work up a finding on the screening mammogram. And it turns out that they do not have cancer.
Dr. Diana Miglaretti is the senior author of the study, which looked at 3 million screening mammograms for women between 40 and 79 years old. To show that new generation 3D mammography reduced false positive rates compared to the older 2D imagery.
I was surprised and a little disappointed.
What she's not disappointed in, though, is the overall message the findings send to women, that false positives are very common.
If you do get that call from your doctor saying, they saw something on your mammogram, they want to do additional imaging to work it up, you should be not worried about that because chances are that you don't have cancer and it's just part of the screening process.
While more false positives were found in younger women and those with denser breasts, Dr. Miglaretti says there is one way to potentially reduce your risk.
The research has shown that most women can be safely screened every other year. So for women who want to reduce their risk of a false positive, they may want to consider having screening every other year.
Coming up on KC Midday, get ready to give your favorite Disney princess a hug. Character interaction making a comeback to Disney. We're going to tell you when next.
Inspiring educator? Go to yourcentralvalley.com and tell us. Each week, KC24 News honors one exceptional local educator. They win supplies for their classroom and are added to the Teacher's Honor Wall at Fresno State. We applaud, we honor, we celebrate. Educator of the Week, Wednesdays on KC24. Brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union, Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, and
Life is non-stop, and I'm always looking for things to make my life just a little easier. That's why I bank with Valley Strong Credit Union. I get all union, but with the technology of a modern bank. At home and on the go. And because they've been serving the Valley for over 80 years, I know they can help us build for the future. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Saddle up for Chick Chansey Gold's $500,000 Roundup of Riches giveaway. Or you can catch yourself a brand new Ram truck. Swipe the kiosk daily for
bonus points or drawing entries, all leading up to the grand finale when you can win a new Ram truck. It's the $500,000 Roundup of Riches giveaway.
Casino! This is the place I love. There's nowhere better than the place I'm from. I'm living local and I'm loving it. Yeah, this is...
Increase the efficiency of your home's closets. We specialize in both walk-in and reach-in designs that fit your budget and style. Call now for a free in-home consultation.
For more expert advice, go to yourcentralvalley.com/pros-who-know.
Local news that matters. This is Ksee 24 News Midday.
Moving in terms of your midday forecast, our temperatures are warming up fairly fast. We're already in the mid to upper 60s across the Central Valley. These were our high temperatures yesterday, and it's not even noon, so we're already going past that. Current conditions show Fresno at 65 degrees, 64 in Visalia, 67 for Merced. Compared to 24 hours ago, we are 5 to 11 degrees warmer this midday across the Central Valley. Also much warmer in the foothills and the Sierra. A little hazy in some spots of the valley, but we're going to have plenty of sunshine. Some lingering clouds will be at the highest trend of the Sierra. This weekend, a couple yard sales going on. It is the first of the month, and temperatures will be in the 80s. We're going to see some clouds late Saturday into early Sunday, and then a nice breeze will pick up. But 80s, fairly warm for this time of year, and we're going to be in the mid to upper 70s today. Average is 70. We'll go for a high of 78 in Fresno, staying below records. Those are close in the 90s. Even at 6 o'clock tonight, still in the 70s under mostly clear skies. We have record heat on the way for next week. I'll show you that extended forecast in a few minutes. For now, we'll send it back to you.
The war in Ukraine has pushed gas prices to record highs. President Biden announcing a plan to bring some much-needed relief to Americans. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington and lays it all out.
The war in Ukraine entering a new month. Airstrikes continue near Kyiv despite Russia's pledge to pull back from the region.
By producing more oil.
Here at home, President Biden making an historic move to combat record high gas prices caused by what he calls Putin's war.
The bottom line is if we want lower gas prices, we need to have a more oil supply right now.
The administration will tap into the nation's strategic petroleum reserve, releasing 180 million barrels over the next 6 months. Republicans argue the plan delivers little relief.
Spro being opened up for 1 million barrels is drop in the bucket.
President Biden insisting the move could lower gas prices by 10 to 35 cents.
Our effort today is to try to soften the blow on American consumers.
Russian President Vladimir Putin telling European countries who rely on Russian oil more than the U.S. that they must pay in rubles or risk being cut off. Sanctions continue to cripple Russia's economy. Major setbacks.
He miscalculated that his forces would be able to enter Ukraine without facing stiff resistance from the Ukrainian people.
Ukraine's president pleading for more tanks and military equipment from the U.S. to help defend his country. President Biden vowing to provide assistance overseas and calling on U.S. energy producers to do more to help Americans battle high prices at the pump. In Washington, Bree Jackson for NBC News.
Pope Francis made a historic apology to Indigenous people today for the deplorable abuses suffered in Canada's church-run residential schools and said he hoped to visit Canada in late July to deliver the apology in person to survivors of the Catholic Church's misguided missionary zeal. Pope Francis begged forgiveness during an audience with dozens of members of the Métis Inuit, and First Nations communities who came to Rome seeking a papal apology and commitment for the Catholic Church to repair the damage. More than 150,000 Native children in Canada were forced to attend state-funded Christian schools from the 19th century until the 1970s. in an effort to isolate them from the influence of their homes and culture. Francis said he felt shame for the role that the Catholic educators had played in the harm and, quote, in the abuse and disrespect for your identity, your culture, even your spiritual values, end quote. In Washington, D.C., 5 human fetuses were found at the home of an anti-abortion activist. Police went to her basement apartment to investigate a tip about a potential biohazard material at the house. Derek Ward has the details.
This house doesn't particularly stand out among the homes in this block of Capitol Hill, but it's become the talk of the neighborhood. Police served a warrant at this basement apartment, the home of anti-abortion activist Lauren Handy. Metropolitan Police say a search of the apartment turned up 5 human fetuses, and news of the grisly discovery spread quickly.
I thought initially it was just really messed up. Coming in from out of town again and just hearing about it just really threw me for a loop.
My initial reaction is it's horrifying to hear that there are fetuses in someone's house.
The incident that took police to the house stems from something that happened at this abortion clinic in October of 2020. They were serving a warrant after indictments that allege Handy led a group of 8 others in a conspiracy to invade the clinic. It says Handy posed as a patient with an appointment and showed up with the co-conspirators who pushed their way in and blocked the doors, a violation of the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances, or FACE Act. Her Facebook page shows her as the founder of a group called Mercy Missions, and it includes videos of her and others at the clinic. Neighbors say Handy recently moved into the basement of this home, a matter of weeks.
I saw the picture and I had not seen her. I didn't recognize her from the neighborhood, and I walked the dog down here like 4 times a day.
The federal charges could net up to 11 years for each of the 9 people indicted. D.C. police say there is an ongoing investigation into how those fetuses ended up in this cabin.
All right, new at midday, mentioned it a little bit earlier, that House just voted to decriminalize marijuana at the federal level. House Democrats made the case for allowing each state to set their own marijuana policies. The bill was approved on a mostly party line vote. All but 2 Democrats backed the measure. 3 Republicans crossed party lines to support it. But the bill, as of now, is expected to fail in the Senate. Strong storms swept across the Washington, D.C. area overnight, leaving some damage behind. A possible tornado damaged this gas station in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, last night. The station will have to remain closed until the covering can be repaired. The storms also scattered debris across the parking lot and ripped open the gas pumps themselves. Elsewhere in Clinton, Maryland, high winds caused tree damage, and on this property it was a similar story. Throughout the area, numerous reports of trees being toppled. 2 tornado warnings were issued across the Washington, D.C. region. This was the same far away as Arkansas as it moved across the country. A woman has signed a bill into California state law for the first time in history. Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kousselakis signed 2 laws on Thursday. She was filling in for Governor Gavin Newsom, who left the state on Wednesday for a family vacation. State law requires Kousselakis to act as governor until Newsom returns. She is the state's first woman lieutenant governor and said it was humbling. She felt a sense of history. Kousselakis is one of several women who could run for governor in 2026. A new report from the nonprofit Environmental Integrity Project finds nearly half of rivers and streams across the U.S. are too polluted to meet quality standards. The study ranked California's water as the worst in the country for drinking and 3rd worst for fishing.
Wastewater can have lots of nitrogen, and that can wreak havoc on coastal ecosystems. It can cause harmful algal blooms. Those cause fish kills. And they can also damage wetlands.
The cause, according to the report, is agricultural runoff and drought. The report recommends the EPA update its water assessment regulations and designate more money for staff and other resources. Disney World fans, get ready. You'll be able to hug it out. After 2 years of social distancing, Disney theme parks say they will start phasing back character interactions as early as April 18th. This means Disney park and cruise guests can hug and get up close to their favorite characters once again, the way people did pre-pandemic. You would think they'd be able to earlier. They are wearing masks. Coming up on Ksee 24 Midday, a war in a failed business deal. AJ Fox brings us more on the remarkable story that landed a small valley town on the map.
Ksee 24 is your local election headquarters, and each week, Alex on the issues that matter to our valley and their impact on you and your family. Sunday Morning Matters, every Sunday morning at 8 on Ksee 24.
Insurance companies like to give big-name football stars to endorse their products.
Not AAA.
What do you mean, Coach?
With affordable auto and home insurance, plus America's most recommended roadside assistance, we offer coverage confidence and don't need athlete endorsements.
What? You kidding me?
Outsmart athlete endorsements.
Let's get out of here.
And choose coverage confidence from AAA.
Good luck with your sports.
Get the furniture you've been waiting for, in stock and on sale at More Furniture for Less.
Spice up your dining space with these incredible values, like this dining table with 6 chairs available in 2 color options for only $5.95.
Or this contemporary set in 2 color options for only $7.95.
And upgrade to this counter height table with 4 chairs and a bench for only $11.95.
These values are in stock and on sale right now, only at More Furniture.
Preview these online at morefurniture.com.
When I was walking to work, I noticed a van coming out of the driveway. It just ran right into me. Jacoby Myers treated me top notch.
We know you have a lot of choices for your serious injury. When you hire Jacoby Myers, we get insurance companies to pay up to 10 times more. It pays to have a law firm with 50 years of experience.
What I did receive was way more than what I thought I was going to get.
Choose Jacoby Myers.
We're a different kind of dentistry, one who believes in doing anything to make dentistry work for your life. That's why we offer on-site denture labs to provide same-day custom-crafted dentures with the most comfortable and precise fit. And you'll get the best price of the season when you upgrade your dentures starting at just $2.99 per arch. We're on your corner and in your corner every step of the way, because your anything is our everything. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Book today at aspendental.com. Walk in or call 1.
Matters at Ksee 24, and we're dedicated to bringing you inspirational stories of students finding new ways to strive for success. Watch these Education Matters stories now at yourcentralvalley.com. Just click Education.
Next, Drew, secrets to a great first date.
It works every time.
Why did no one tell me this? And Monday,
a full week with Chip and Joanna Gaines.
The Drew Barrymore Show, today at 2 on Ksee 24. The latest conditions, live. The Ksee 24 Valley Cam Network. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras with your local weather authority forecast.
Welcome back. Temperatures are warming up fast, and a warming trend moves forward into the weekend, and it kind of stalls early next week, and then things really pick up speed again late next week. That's where we're talking about some record heat for the valley. This weekend, not too bad. We're already in the mid-60s. Mid-60s were our high. Make it into the 70s, but we're on our way to the 70s for today. 65 in Fresno and Bakersfield, upper 70s in Palm Springs, already in the 70s for Phoenix and Las Vegas, and a cool 50 degrees in Salt Lake City, Utah. Temperatures at the highest trend this year in the 50s. Most of the Central Valley, though, mid-60s. 66 in Madera, 64 in Visalia, and 66 in Hanford. Compared to 24 hours ago, everyone's much warmer compared to this. Warmer in Madera and 8 degrees warmer in Porterville. We had some patchy fog out there this morning. Visibility was down to about a mile or less in some locations of the South Valley, but now 7 to 10 miles visibility, mainly due to some haze out there. But it's still possible to get some fog in the month of April. It's not an April Fool's joke. We did have a good soaking of rain a few days ago, and high pressures building over us, creating an inversion layer, but it's more in the form of haze in the afternoon. You kind of see that in this live picture from our Valley Cam at Ksee 24 looking at downtown Fresno. You can see downtown Fresno, but on the clearest days, you would be able to see the Coast Range behind the downtown Fresno skyline, so you can't see that, but decent visibility in town. Up in the mountains, beautiful day ahead. That cloud cover was stripping also over the foothills and the lower Sierra. Sunshine right now in Bass Lake. Live picture from Miller's Landing. This is their webcam. You see the lake, obviously, then you see blue skies off in the distance. It's going to be a great weekend up there also weather-wise. Temperatures in the 70s. High pressures in control of our weather pattern for a few days. So more sunshine today, warmer temperatures today and through the weekend. That's the tail end of the system that helped with that cloud cover over the valley yesterday. Another system comes through the backside of California Monday into Tuesday. The winds will start to pick up a little bit Sunday, more so into Monday into Tuesday. That's where we drop back into the 70s. Even though we're going to cool off, we're still going to be above average, which is 70 for this time of year. And it's going to pull in some cloud cover before the cooler air arrives. So we'll see some clouds this weekend, mainly Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning. But we're not expecting any rain for the valley, foothills, or the Sierra. So things will remain dry. As for today, we're above average, but we're staying below records, and it's going to be warmer into the weekend. Still not too bad, though, for big hat days in Old Town Clovis. Temperatures in the 80s for Saturday and Sunday. And you'll notice the winds picking up from the northwest on Sunday from about 10 to 15 miles an hour. So today's record is 90, set back in 1966. We're going to stay well below that. But next week, though, we could very well break several records once again, kind of similar to what we had just last week. 80 today in Lemoore, 80 in 5 Points, 80 in San Joaquin, 79 in Selma, 54 in China Peak, 74 for Oakers, 69 in Yosemite, 78 in Merced, and 81 in Los Banos. Tonight, temperatures will be in the 40s, and it's going to be a cool evening out there because of clear skies. We might be a little bit colder than last night, but temperatures in the 20s for China Peak and 30s for Sequoia, so still cold up in the Sierra late at night, early on in the morning, but most of the valley will be in the 40s for tonight. Air quality, it's good in the North Valley for Merced and Madera counties. It's moderate for the South Valley and Kings and Tulare counties and for Fresno County. 70 forecast has a mix of clouds and sunshine into the weekend. We're 1 week away from opening day for the Fresno Grizzlies and the Visalia Rawhide, and Easter is 16 days away. Then tax day is the following Monday because it falls on a Saturday, the 15th. 80s this weekend, a little breezy at times, starting on Sunday into Monday. And as we move forward into next week, we're back in the 70s Monday into Tuesday. It's still going to be warm for this time of year, but that's nothing compared to what we have on Wednesday, mid 80s, and then we're going to be in the low to mid 90s on Thursday. 94 would tie the record high for that date, but there are communals that want to give us hotter temperatures than that even on the following Friday. So we'll see what happens. Your regional forecasts available any time of the day. Just log on to yourcentralvalley.com. A war, a treaty, a broken business deal, maybe a pit of mental domestic abuse, and just a touch of narcissism all contributed to the name of this place on the map.
The Rancho Laguna de Tachi was a Mexican land grant given to Manuel Castro by then-Governor Pío Pico in 1846. This was very close to the beginning of the Mexican-American War. At the end of the war, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo said that all land grants would be honored, so Manuel Castro owned the land until he sold it to Jeremiah Clark some 20 years later. Now, Clark leased his land to Polly Heilbrunn and Company with a 10-year option, and then they could buy at the end of that 10 years. But his wife, Charlotte, had other ideas. She had him declared mentally incompetent, meaning any deal that he made with a company would be void. And although Jeremiah fought in court for several years, Charlotte eventually won. She took ownership of the land, and she sold it to two men. The two men were named Llewellyn Nares and Charles Layton, and they both established communities, and they both named those communities after themselves. Llewellyn Nares gave us Lanier, and Charles Layton obviously gave us Layton on the map of Fresno County. With Josh Dean behind the camera, I'm A.J. Fox.
That was on the map. We'll send it back to you.
If you want to watch that again, yourcentralvalley.com/on-the-map. Prices at the pump still hovering near the record high, in large part because of Russia's war in Ukraine. Now the Biden administration is